Hey everybody, Mike here at Amish Tutorials, and welcome back to a new video. All right, well today I'm going to do a subscriber request as I typically do, and the question that I received was, can you demonstrate how to model a Dutch windmill? All right, now that can be as complicated as you want. You can spend many hours on that, but we're going to keep it fairly basic, okay, just to make it possible to do in one tutorial. And that said, let's get started. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a polygon cylinder in our polygon menu, so in modeling polygons, and we're going to reduce the segmentation to 8. So in our attribute editor, actually to 6, we're going to change 20 to 6, like so. We don't need any caps, so we're going to set that to 0, but we do need some subdivision in height, so let's do 4. All right. Now that we have that, we're going to switch views. We're going to go to our front view and we're going to right click. Come on. There we go. Go to vertex. Drag select these vertices. Hit R. Scale them out just a little bit. Skip one row. Do the same there. And create something that looks like this. All right. Cool. All right. Next step. We're going to move to the top here. We're going to right click and go to face. Select that face. And go to Edit Mesh, Extrude, hit R to scale it in, just slightly, G to repeat, and W to pull up, straight up, something like that, right? Then we're going to hit G to repeat again, R to scale out again, and then W to pull up, just a little, to about so, all right? And then we're going to hit G to repeat again, W to pull up, and from that point, we're going to start to flare in, okay? So we're going to hit R to scale in a bit, like so. G to repeat, W to pull up, R to scale in and flare in some more, G to repeat again, W to pull up, and R to kind of scale in, G, W, and R, G, W, and R, and G, W, and let's see, yeah, that's about it, right? Okay, cool. So now for our top section, that it will look a little bit different. So what we're going to do there is we're going to do G once more. What's that all about? Let's not do that. Edit mesh, extrude. Okay, for some reason the subdivisions are set to 100 instead of 1. So we'll do 1 there. And then what we're going to do, actually, let's give this some thought. Actually, let's try that in a slightly different way. We're going to hit Control Z to go back. That one is still okay. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do there is we're going to make a separate top. And how we'll do that is we'll take another polygon cylinder, hit W, pull that up, go to 6 subdivisions once again. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our top view, and we're going to right click and go to face. Let's take these two and delete them, and the bottom ones as well, obviously. Hopefully I didn't mess up my existing structure. That's good. Take these two as well. So that's all opened up. We're going to right click in object mode. We're going to bring that down. All right. And then we're going to right click and go to vertex. Take that one and that one. And we're going to pull that forward. Okay, and we want that to meet up there. So I'm going to take all 3 of these And then we're going to move it forward like so. Okay. So that in itself is okay. It's way too big, obviously, but this is okay so far. Right-click Object Mode, R to kind of scale down a bit. Let's get that roughly into position, move it a bit forward. And then we're going to move the whole top down a bit. So right-click Vertex, right-click the top and bring that down. Let's have a look at the proportions. That looks all right, I guess, yeah. So what we're going to do next is we're going to close this up. So right-click Edge, double-click all the way around, and go to Mesh and Fill Hole. There you go. That's not too bad. We're going to select these two edges and go to, let's see, Mesh Display. No, where is that? Edit Mesh, and under Edges to delete edges and vertex. Yeah, that's good. All right, that's good for now. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to create some blades, if you will. First, we need to create a polygon cube. We're going to pull that up. We're going to hit R to stretch that out. And then we're going to scale the whole thing back in like that, right? We're going to right click, we're going to go to vertex at the end. We're going to select that, hit W and kind of pull that out to the back. All right, so now that we got that, we're going to reuse that. So we're going to right click on object mode, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, and hold down J to snap to 90 degrees. We're going to hit W and pull it forward. And let's have a look at the length and so forth. All right. So that one is right there. Height-wise, that looks okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take that guy again, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J to snap, to again 90 degrees, pull it toward the end, hit R to scale it in, big time, to about there, W to move it forward, and then we're going to switch views to this view right here. Let's see what we got. Okay, I was looking at that thing there. That's not good. So hit 4 for wireframe mode. Should be aligned here. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate that. Let's pull that over to about here and hit Shift D. One more. Yeah, like so. Then we're going to take this guy, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J to snap until we're at 90 degrees, like so. And we're going to pull that down just a little bit. Actually, let's do that on top first. So bring that way up. In this view, we're going to bring that out like so. And bring that up to the top. Let's bring it in. All right, we're going to right click on the vertex, drag select that end there, and push that out. I have to zoom in. All right, cool. We're going to right click on object mode, select it, Control D to duplicate, W to pull down, and then we're going to hit Shift D and Shift D, and we'll do Shift D once more, and then we'll have to kind of tweak those. Okay. I want this one to come up a bit. And you don't want them to be too symmetrical. After all, it's supposed to be a windmill that's very old, etc. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to take this whole segment, minus that. Let's push that back a little. Oh, I don't want the top there. That's probably a bit better. And we'll take that guy and we'll move that back as well. We'll sort that later, okay? Now I want to have a cloth section on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a polygon plane, pull that up and out, R to scale it up, E to rotate it, hold down J to snap it to 90 degrees, hit W to pull that forward, and just have a look from the top, F to zoom in. It should be right there. And then from this view, we're going to hit R, we're going to scale that way in, W to bring that up, hit R to scale it up again, and we kind of want to have a fit here, pretty close anyway. Hit R again. That should be pretty close. All right, so we're going to hit W to raise the whole thing up a bit. Yeah, that looks fine. All right. So what we're going to do next is, let's see, make sure that it's not sticking through our wood. There we go. We're going to go up to our FX menu. We're going to go to end cloth and create end cloth. All right. So now if we hit play, it should fall down, and it does, which is good. We're now going to select it. We're going to right click, we're going to go to vertex, and we're going to start to drag select a number of vertices here. So we've got the one on the left, one on the right. We'll, let's see, skip 2 there. We'll skip 2 here. And then we'll do this guy in the middle. All right. And we're going to go up to end constraint, and we're going to go to, let's see, where is it? Transform constraint right there. Okay. Now let's hit play again. All right. Not bad, not perfect either. It's not quite the effect I was hoping for. It does drop down, but not nearly enough. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control Z to go back, 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 back. And I'm going to add some subdivision here. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my modeling menu, edit mesh tools, insert edge loop, option box, multiple, and let's do 2. And I'll do 2 there, 2 there. And I just want that to look a little bit more like cloth. Okay. So hit Q to exit. Right click object mode. Go in our FX menu to end cloth and create end cloth. There we go. We're going to right click and go to vertex. And I'm going to start to select these, but what I'll do is I'll have slightly larger gaps in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do one there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That turned out pretty much okay. All right. We're going to go back to end constraint and transform constraint. Let's give this another go. All right. Not bad. Not quite there yet. This looks okay. So we're going to jump back to frame 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and go to vertex, take the corner vertices, and maybe do one in the middle here. and go to transform constraint as well and hit play. Yeah, much better, much better. Okay, that's starting to look like a cloth. All right, so I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna go up to edit, delete by type, history. Then I'm gonna select the whole thing. I'm gonna go to window, outliner, and I'm gonna take this nucleus, delete it, take these guys and these guys. All right, we should be okay there. Yep. So now I'm going to select this whole section here. So not that and not that. I'm going to go to, in my modeling menu, to mesh and combine. All right. Then I'm going to switch views. And we're going to go into this view. Looks like my system is lagging a little bit. No, actually it's good. Okay. We're going to hit 4 for wireframe mode, and I'm going to select this guy, which is now one section. And when I hit W to move it, I can see that my pivot point is down here. So I'm going to go to modify and center pivot to raise it up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the insert key, which will allow me to move my pivot point to the center of this cube right there. Okay. So with that done, I can now hit Control D to duplicate, hold down E to rotate, and hold down J to snap until I'm at 90 degrees, and then hold Shift D and Shift D, and I got them all 4. All right, now as you can see, it's cutting into our windmill. So I'm going to select these 4 and go to mesh and combine. And then I'm going to go to modify and center pivot. Hit W to move the whole thing forward so it's clear and it's not going to hit. That's about right. Yep. And then we'll take this guy and we'll kind of bring that in. All right. And we'll take this guy, right click, go to face, take the front face there. And let's bring that slightly forward as well, which is not untypical for a windmill. And then we'll right click and go to edge, take that edge and bring that up to kind of create that roof feeling. And we're going to right click and go to vertex, direct click that one and kind of bring that in like so. All right. So we're not quite there yet. So now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to take this beam here, Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J to snap until it's 90 degrees, hit W and pull that back. And then from our top view, let's go to modify center pivot. And now we can move it until it's centered. And what I'll do is I'll just hold down X to snap it. There we go. Yeah, that looks right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control D again, E to rotate it again, hold down J to snap, like so. We're going to hit W to push that down. Let's have a look from this view here. It's not quite long enough, so we'll bring it up here. Right click, go to vertex, and then bring that down to about floor level. Okay, and then we're going to select these vertices. Let's see, guys. This needs to move in a bit. This needs to move out a bit. And then we're going to right click and go to object mode. Control D to duplicate. I'm going to move that out just slightly. And then right click, go to vertex, select these top vertices and drag that out here. And then we're going to right click and go to object mode. Control D to duplicate. Move it over to that end. Right click vertex, drag select, and move that over there. Starting to look a little bit like a windmill. Okay. We'll right click and go to face. We'll select these two faces and kind of pull them back a little bit, not too much. All right. And we are pretty close to what looks like a windmill. We'll right click and go to object mode. We'll take this guy, Control D to duplicate, bring that way down, and then hit R and scale that in. Okay. Now again, it's not a highly detailed windmill, but somewhere in the back part of your scene, it would look okay. I'm going to select the whole thing. I'm going to go to mesh and combine, modify center pivot. We're going to go to edit, delete by type, history. Let's take a polygon plane, hit R to scale that out. And then let's take our windmill and hit W and move that up, like so. We're going to quickly go into our render settings. Let's select mental rate, quality tab. Let's bump that up to about 1.5. In our common tab, let's set the size of the image to HD 1080. And then we're going to go into our scene and we're going to create physical sun and sky. We're going to close that down. And I'm going to hit 7 on my keyboard so I can kind of see the direction of my light. Okay. I'm going to go to Windows Outliner. I'm going to look for my sun. Hit W to pull that back and up. And I'm going to hit E and start to rotate that to kind of have a sense of what that would look like. All right. Let's see. We're going to go into our settings here. And I think what we need to do first is have a quick render. But I think we're pretty close to where we need to be. Let's turn on our resolution gate. Okay, we'll increase the size of our plane a little bit. Which will allow us to kind of bring that in like so. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video, do a quick render, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, I did a quick test render. I'm not going to bother you with the result. It's not quite there yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this whole thing, go to mesh and separate, for the simple reason that I want to select my cloth here, go to assign new material, and what I want to do is kind of create a little bit of transparency there. So I'll do a new Lambert. And we'll go in and we'll increase the transparency a bit. Not quite sure how much, but that should do the trick. And that said, I'm going to pause the video and let's give it another go. All right, see you in a bit. All right, guys, well, there you have it. There's our windmill. It's, like I said, it's pretty basic, but I think it's suitable for, filling up a scene. And that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know, and see you guys next time. Bye.